Hello everyone, I am here with Miss Millie and we are here to announce her first litter of puppies. Now we are in the puppy nursery. Let's head on over and see the pups. Welcome to Millie's whelping box. Now this whelping box we created out of a dog pool. It was the perfect size and dimensions for Millie, who is a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and her pups. Now we also added in some pig rails using these pool noodles that are held in place using duct tape adhesive. Now the reason why we are putting in pig rails is on the chance that Millie lies down to nurse and there is a pup behind her, she potentially could squish that puppy and hurt them if they didn't have a safe place to go. By adding in these pig rails, it creates a space of about 3 centimeters that the pup can fit under, but Millie's back doesn't, so they won't get squished. So this just increases the safety for the little pups here. And we have also included a heating pad underneath this. Now it is a dog safe and waterproof heating pad, and it doesn't cover the entire bottom of the whelping box. So we want to ensure that the heating pad covers the majority of the center of the whelping box so the pups have a nice warm place to be. But we also want to ensure that there is a cool zone around the perimeter of the whelping box so that if they get too hot, they can crawl down there and cool off just a little bit. Another thing to note, it is dog safe, so this will prevent any chewing. Not that the puppies have any teeth yet, but there is that safety addition there. And I have a controller that I am able to control based on the temperature because we wanted to have the setting set to a particular temperature so it's not too warm and not too cold. Another thing that is incredibly important is the fact that it doesn't have an automatic shut off. So you can set this so that it goes for 24 hours straight. That way we know that the puppies will always have a nice warm space. Now, Millie delivered her pups on July 21st, starting at 12:24 a.m. and it started with this little girl here. And our litter theme for Millie's pups is Powerpuff Girls, and that was selected by my children. And so the first one that came out was a girl, and we named her Blossom from Powerpuff Girls. And the next pup that came out was a little boy, and it's this little fellow here in the green collar, and his name is Mojo, just like Mojo Jojo from Powerpuff Girls. And then the last little guy here is a male, and we have named him Boomer. And of course, when you take your pups home, you can give them any name that you like. This is just what we use so that we can keep things straight as opposed to calling them green, blue, and pink. And for our little girl here, we have some little white spots along her tail, the bottoms of her paws, as well as a little white teardrop on her forehead, which you can see when she stops nursing here. Right here, this is our little guy, Mojo, in the green collar here, and he has some white markings on his paw that you can see just on the back paws here, and they're mostly along the bottom. And then he's got a nice little white marking going down his chest and up his neck here. And for our little boy Boomer, he is pretty much all completely black. Now on the bottoms of his paws, he does have some white, but you can't see that from the front. I do believe there is one toe that is white. That being said, markings do change as they grow up. So we will see how all of these colors develop and change as they grow older. Now, I wanted to talk just a little bit about how the first 24 hours went. So when they were first born, we took note of whether they came out regular, so that means head first, or if they came out breech. And we had one breech baby, and that would be Boomer in the blue collar here. He was breech, and he was our last little pup to be born. And Millie did really well throughout the entire pregnancy and the labor, and it didn't take too long between the pups. And then what we decided to do is take their weights. So when they are first born, after mom has licked them clean and gotten established nursing a little bit, we take their weight. And I usually like to do this when she starts to have a harder contraction with the next pup coming. I'll go over and I will get their weight and find out whether it is a male or a female, and write that down. While I'm checking their weights, I also check to ensure that they don't have a cleft palate, and I just make sure that everything is looking good. Now that being said, we like to let Millie just give birth nice and natural. We are there to support her as she needs, but really she's the one that does all of the work. That being said, I always like to check and hear how the puppies are breathing. I will hold them up to my ear so I can see if it sounds a little gurgly. And if it does, we do use an aspirator to remove some of that fluid. And with the first two pups that were born head first, we did not have to do that. They were breathing nicely. And for our breech baby, he was a little bit gurgly, so we just used the aspirator to get a little bit of that fluid out, and he was right as rain right after that. They have all been nursing quite well, and I did decide to take their weights again about 12 hours after delivery, just to check to make sure that weights were good, and their weights were gaining. Our little girl lost a little bit of weight, but after that 24-hour period when I did their weights again, then she did gain that weight back, and they have all been steadily gaining over the past 24 hours. Now, we do check their weights every single day for the first 3 weeks, and we record this for you so that we can make sure that they are getting the nutrients that they need and to make sure that nothing is wrong. Now, when each of the pups are born, I go in and I create their birth order, name, we do have a litter theme of the Powerpuff Girls, whether it's a male or a female, what ribbon color they have, their date of birth, time of birth, their weight, and any other useful information such as the delivery, whether it was head first or breech first, and their colorings. And then I also like to draw in their colorings, especially if you have a lot of the same color with slightly different markings. It does kind of help to make those things go along. And then we also have some neonatal care charts that we have, and we just go through with our pups in here, and we weigh them every single day up until the day that they hit 3 weeks. And then it is just a weekly weight that goes on. And then starting on day 3, we begin our early neurological stimulus exercises, as well as early scent introduction exercises. And the curriculum continues as they go and get older and develop new things. And I'm excited to bring you in on this journey with us. And right now, I think things are going quite nicely. Millie is absolutely loving this. Millie has already had her bath. So when we go to clean out the whelping box, we take Millie out to go pee. My husband will take her out to go pee and give her a bath, give her a nice brush, check on her, make sure that she doesn't have any scratches. We also check for signs of mastitis to make sure everything is nice and healthy with her. And then I get to work cleaning out the whelping box and taking the weights of all of the pups. And I also took the liberty of taking a few very quick photos of the pups so that you guys can see them as well. You guys can check us out on our Instagram or our Facebook page at Canadian Cav Pups.